My grandparents knew these values weren't reserved for one race. They could be passed down to a half Kenyan grandson, or a half Asian granddaughter. In fact, they were the same values Michelle's parents, the descendants of slaves. Taught their own kids, living in a bungalow on the south side of Chicago. America has changed over the years. But these values that my grandparents taught me, they haven't gone anywhere. They're as strong as ever, still cherished by people of every party, every race. Every faith. They live on in each of us. What makes us American, what makes us patriots is what's in here. That's what matters. And that's why we can take the food and music and holidays and styles of other countries. And blend it into something uniquely our own. That's why we can attract strivers and entrepreneurs from around. The globe to build new factories and create new industries here. That's why our military can look the way it does, every shade of humanity, forged into common service. That is America. That is America. Those bonds of affection, that common creed. We don't fear the future, we shape it. We embrace it, as one people, stronger together than we are on our own. That's what Hillary Clinton understands, this fighter, this stateswoman. This mother and grandmother, this public servant, this patriot, that's the America she's fighting for. And that is why I have confidence, as I leave this stage tonight, that the Democratic Party is in good hands. My time in this office, it hasn't fixed everything. As much as we've done, there's still so much I want to do. But for all the tough lessons I've had to learn, for all the places where I've fallen short, I've told Hillary. And I'll tell you, what's picked me back up every single time, it's been you. The American people. It's the letter I keep on my wall from a survivor in Ohio who twice almost lost everything to cancer. But urged me to keep fighting for healthcare reform, even when the battle seemed lost. Do not quit. It's the painting I keep in my private office, a big-eyed, green owl with blue wings. Made by a 7-year-old girl who was taken from us in Newtown. Given to me by her parents so I wouldn't forget, a reminder of all the parents who have turned their grief into action. It's the small business owner in Colorado who cut most of his own salary so he wouldn't have to lay off. Any of his workers in the recession because, he said, that wouldn't have been in the spirit of America. It's the conservative in Texas who said he disagreed with me on everything. But he appreciated that, like him, I try to be a good dad. It's the courage of the young soldier from Arizona who nearly died on the battlefield in Afghanistan. But who has learned to speak again and walk again, and earlier this year. Stepped through the door of the Oval Office on his own power, to salute and shake my hand. It is every American who believed we could change this country for the better. So many of you who'd never been involved in politics, who picked up phones and hit the streets. And used the internet in amazing new ways that I didn't really understand, but made change happen. You are the best organizers on the planet, and I am so proud of all the change that you made possible. Time and again, you picked me up. And I hope, sometimes, I picked you up, too. America, you vindicated that hope these past 8 years. And now I'm ready to pass the baton and do my part as a private citizen. So this year, in this election, I'm asking you to join me to reject cynicism and reject fear. And to summon what is best in us, to elect Hillary Clinton as the next President of the United States. And show the world we still believe in the promise of this great nation. Thank you for this incredible journey. Let's keep it going. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Barack Obama. Signing of Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. Delivered July 21, 2010, Ronald Reagan Building, Washington, D. C. Thank you. Everybody, please have a seat, have a seat. Well, good morning, everyone. We are gathered in the heart of our nation's capital. Surrounded by memorials to leaders and citizens who served our nation in its earliest days and in its days of greatest trial. Today is such a time for America. Over the past 2 years, we have faced the worst recession since the Great Depression. 8 million people lost their jobs. Tens of millions saw the value of their homes and retirement savings plummet. Countless businesses have been unable to get the loans they need, and many have been forced to shut their doors. And although the economy is growing again, too many people are still feeling the pain of the downturn. Now, while a number of factors led to such a severe recession, the primary cause was a breakdown in our financial system. It was a crisis born of a failure of responsibility from certain. Corners of Wall Street to the halls of power in Washington. For years, our financial sector was governed by antiquated and poorly enforced rules. That allowed some to game the system and take risks that endangered the entire economy. Unscrupulous lenders locked consumers into complex loans with hidden costs. Firms like AIG placed massive, risky bets with borrowed money. And while the rules left abuse and excess unchecked, they also left taxpayers on the hook if a big bank or financial institution ever failed. Now, even before the crisis hit, I went to Wall Street and I called for common sense reforms to protect consumers and our economy as a whole. And soon after taking office, I proposed a set of reforms to empower consumers and investors. To bring the shadowy deals that caused this crisis into the light of day, and to put a stop to taxpayer bailouts once and for all. Today, thanks to a lot of people in this room, those reforms will become the law of the land. For the last year, Chairman Barney Frank and Chris Dodd have worked day and night. Barney and Chris have worked day and night to bring about this reform. And I am profoundly grateful to them. I would be remiss if I didn't also express my appreciation to Senator Harry Reid and Speaker Nancy Pelosi for their leadership. It wouldn't have happened without them. Passing this bill was no easy task. To get there, we had to overcome the furious lobbying of an array of powerful interest groups and a partisan minority determined to block change. So the members who are here today, both on the stage and in the audience, they have done a great service in devoting so much time and expertise to this effort. To looking out for the public interests and not the special interests. And I also want to thank the 3 Republican senators who put partisanship aside. Judged this bill on the merits, and voted for reform. We're grateful to them. And the Republican House members. Good to see you, Joe. Now, let's put this in perspective. The fact is, the financial industry is central to our nation's ability to grow. To prosper, to compete, and to innovate. There are a lot of banks that understand and fulfill this vital role. And there are a whole lot of bankers who want to do right. And do right by their customers. This reform will help foster innovation, not hamper it. It is designed to make sure that everybody follows the same set of rules. So that firms compete on price and quality, not on tricks and not on traps. It demands accountability and responsibility from everyone. It provides certainty to everybody, from bankers to farmers to business owners to consumers. And unless your business model depends on cutting corners or bilking your customers. You've got nothing to fear from reform. Now, for all those Americans who are wondering what Wall Street reform means for you, here's what you can expect. If you've ever applied for a credit card, a student loan, or a mortgage, you know the feeling of signing your name to pages of barely understandable fine print. What often happens as a result is that many Americans are caught by hidden fees and penalties. Or saddled with loans they can't afford. That's what happened to Robin Fox. Hit with a massive rate increase on her credit card balance even though she paid her bills on time. That's what happened to Andrew Giordano, who discovered hundreds of dollars in overdraft. Fees on his bank statement, fees he had no idea he might face. Both are here today. Well, with this law, unfair rate hikes, like the one that hit Robin, will end for good. And will ensure that people like Andrew aren't unwittingly caught by overdraft fees when they sign up for a checking account. With this law, we'll crack down on abusive practices in the mortgage industry. We'll make sure that contracts are simpler, putting an end to many hidden penalties and fees in complex mortgages so folks know what they're signing.